I was very happy to see when you said you was willing to go into Trump country, because if you wasn't going to do that, that would kind of show that you was unserious. So I'm glad that you're willing to spread this message to uh, people that the liberal class view as undesirable. I've been called a member of the Red Brown Alliance because I have the audacity to talk to conservatives, want to have dialogue with conservatives. I want to march with conservatives. We have shared values, and that got me blacklisted among the Bernie left. So I do praise you. I'm glad you want to do that. And,
it was
and
the Bernie left that blacklisted you like that. Huh?
Yes. Oh, we getting to them. We getting to them. That's after this topic. Yeah, we getting to them.
Because they're the number one. You see it. They were the number one people. Dr. Cornel was, how dare you associate with this person? I understand you got to spread your message, and I don't buy that nonsense. I don't buy that Red Brown Lines bullshit. I really don't. And a lot of people trying to pressure me to buy it, but I don't. I have someone who live in a red state who worked and live around people I disagree with. I do not believe with this bullshit where people say you can't talk to people you disagree with. And I'm like, I'm willing to die on that grave, and I have, and to a lot of people. So do you want to speak on that decision, your experiences, speaking to Trump country people in the red countries? Because I live there. So this is everyday life for me. So Dr. Cornel West, you want to explain your thought process on that?
Well, one, we do know that 1 out of 10 supporters of Trump supported Bernie. That's all this empirical investigation, which is still always fallible, but all this empirical. And what does that mean? That means that a deep frustration critique of the Democratic Party, its establishment corporate wing, which is the dominant wing, that and the progressive wing is just window dressing for the most part. And so when they decided that they wouldn't go with Bernie, there was no way they were going with Hillary, no way they were going with Biden. Didn't even consider it, you see. And Trump picked up on that. He picked up on that. And so it means then that, when you talk about following a neo-fascist Pied Piper, that all the followers of Trump are not exact replicas of Trump.
Right.
They are a heterogeneous base. They're a diverse group of citizens. And there are deep white supremacists, ain't no doubt about that. Male supremacists, xenophobe, transphobe, homophobe, ain't no doubt about that, you see. But there are also a whole lot of folk who are very critical of Wall Street, very critical of the Pentagon, very critical of the corruption in high places. And those folk are significant slices of our fellow citizenry who could be open to what the kind of things I'm talking about.
Absolutely. And those people are, and we talk about this on RBN all the time. It's, and my personal experience, I knocked on thousands of doors on the Bernie campaign. I have a easier time talking to the average redneck than the Elizabeth Warren supporting suburban mom. Those are the people who slammed the door in my face. Meanwhile, the more conservative person is just more interested in where I come from. They not at first, but as soon as I say, yeah, fuck Democrats and Obama too, they're like, wait, what? I start talking about how I don't like the FBI because they don't like the FBI. They're like, what? There's cause of commonality in there, and I think there's a coordinated psyop to prevent people to think that it's possible to form coalitions with people on important issues that the ruling class don't want us to solve. So they don't want us to come together with people who are anti-war, even though we may have cultural differences, because they don't want the war to end. So they give us bad advice where they say, don't ever organize with people you disagree with. Meanwhile, they friends with Joe Manchin. They friends with Bill Kristol, like Ro Khanna, for example. So
that's so true. You're absolutely right there.